Where are my Celestians, Games Workshop? It's 10th edition. Where are they? You took them from me. I want them back. We have Legends rules now, but no Celestians. We just have this, oh, well, they kind of look like Battle Sisters, so they can count as Battle Sisters, with counts as weapons. So that melter gun, it's a bolt gun. That heavy flamer, it's a bolt gun. Because Celestians used to be able to take more special and heavy weapons than Battle Sisters. So I have a lot of models with more special weapons and heavy weapons than Battle Sisters. Okay. Now what if you had, say, 15 Celestians, or just 5 Celestians? You can only use them if they're in a squad of 10 Battle Sisters. So if you only had 5, you can't use them, because you're going to need 10. You'll be paying the price for 10 to get 5. Buy more? Well, they come in boxes of 10. So I would still only have 5 left, and it would still taunt me because it still advertises that you can build these as Celestians. What is a Celestian? Who knows? Doesn't have rules anymore. The Battle Sisters had few enough units in their roster already, and were losing another one. When I saw this morning that there was a Legends datasheets out, I was all like, oh, wonderful. We're gonna get some Celestians. So then I opened the Sisters Legend document and saw there was no Celestians. And then I said, I want to cry. But hey, we have 170 points of a building back, and that building lets us do 2 acts of faith per turn. It's very clear what an act of faith is. I don't know what anyone is talking about. So now, generally, once again, faith goes on. I know most of you didn't think that they were coming back. Actually, I think most of you are here for Genestealer cults and other stuff, but never mind. Faith goes on. As it always has for Adeptus Sororitas players, back when we were called the Witch Hunter add-ons, or, you know, when we were actually known as Battle Sisters. We hoped that one day, Games Workshop would support us for more than 5 minutes. Now you may be thinking, oh, Christian von Carmian, you're getting unreasonably annoyed at this. These are just basically Battle Sisters. There's no way Games Workshop was going to give them a profile for a very slight variation. Well, how dare you say that? I can't believe you just said that. Look at this! Here is a Razorback that is basically identical to the legendary Razorback. Though if it really was meant to be the earlier edition's Relic Razorback, why can't I have twin plasma guns with a las cannon, like the model that I have? Does Games Workshop just hate me? Is it me? No, that's absurd. I'm wonderful, and everyone loves my calm, well-balanced analysis of all of these rules. What else is there in the Legends documents? Of course, this is different to the Horus Heresy Legends document and the Forge World Legend document. This is all very easy and simple to understand when you have 3 documents with very similar file names available on the website. Now, I knew that quite a few things were going to survive anyway from some leaky rumour things. Stuff like the Great Narlock was going to survive. But what else is there? Well, some of the Renegades and Heretics range has survived. They have a heavy weapons team that can take heavy stubbers instead of mortars or las cannons, and pay 15 points more than the Imperial Guard for that privilege. If you were a fan of the Blackstone Fortress expansion, and that's its own little game in itself, there were quite a lot of characters, good and bad, that have turned up over the years. Some of them have been in expansions. Some of them were a Zote. People like Zotes. They didn't really like Zotes, but it sold very quickly. Now, they've been scattered around all of the different faction legend lists. If you want a robot dude who definitely isn't one of the Iron Men of the earlier millennia, that is in the assigned agents list, along with some of the Inquisitors. If you want the Spindle Drones and the Zote, then that is in the unaligned document. If you're wanting the Chaos side, Well, the Traitor Guardsmen are now in the Chaos Marine Index by themselves as their own unit. Not Legends at all. The Rogue Psychers, well, Renegades and Heretics used to have a Malefic Lord, which was a leader HQ that could pop out of a Valkyrie and do lots of lightning things, and having 3 of them was quite popular in a tournament at one time. Well, they are gone and have been replaced by the Blackstone Fortress version, which is this Rogue Psyker, who has a pretty decent Witchfire ability. It's just very short ranged, and can't actually go with the Traitor Guard that, you know, he was sold with, but can go with the Negavolt Cultists, which still retain a 5+ invulnerable save and a 5+ feel no pain, and they do a sort of mini impact hits, kind of like the tanks do when they use the command point stratagem to tank shock. The Gellerpox Infected is still around and actually function in Chaos armies instead of the way they only really worked in 8th edition as part of Chaos Soup before their very late 9th edition rules kinda messed up and set 16 mutoid vermin as 1 power. About 20 points. But if we want things from very long ago that are still around, from 2nd edition, the Ork Buggies and their very cheap big guns have survived. So if you ever wanted a catapult to round out your Ork army, you can. And it's a pretty cheap way to hold a home objective as well. If you wanted to sort of proxy in some Celestians, we have the damned Legionaries that are pretty close. They can take most of the weapons that Battle Sister Celestians could, and they get deep strike into the bargain. Oh, and you get an extra wound and an extra toughness as you go. So that may be a way to keep Celestians around, sort of. But if we're doing that, then we might as well just pick up the Black Templar range, put it down, and say, these are girls now. Ah, the Genestealer cult. We have our Tectonic Fragdrill back. Now it can save blip markers that the enemy is burnt away. And it also has a melee weapon. But no way to move. 125 points is a bit much for, I want you to charge me, I want you to charge me, I want you to charge me kind of unit. Or do you remember Mutilators? They were like combat obliterators. No one liked them. I liked them. No one liked them. They were a very odd combat version of a shooter unit. They got a legend datasheet. Of course, for sisters, the whole world is flipped upside down, and the weird combat version of our shooter unit stuck around. We have Celestian Sacrosancts. But, oh, here's the rules for Celestians. So sisters are a unit down in their very small army list. This was one of the reasons that not a lot of people play Battle Sisters. But there are more. You watch that, and I'm just gonna go and do one more thing.